You're watching The Pat O'Hara Show with host Sean McDowell on Preds TV.
Well, you will hear Orlando Predator coach Pat O'Hara say it many times, and it is very true. This is a football franchise that needs a short memory right now, especially after last Saturday night's loss at 53-52 was that final score, as the Predators end up losing to the Spokane Shock at Amway Arena. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Preds TV. I'm Sean McDowell. Welcome to the locker room. We're here each and every week to talk with Coach Pat O'Hara about the goings-on for the red, black, and white of the Orlando Predators. A special greeting to everybody watching us on niftytv.com. Especially thank you for joining us, too. Again, a 1-point loss at the hands of a very good football club from Spokane, Washington, the Shock, who brought in one of the league's best offenses to be certain, and the Predators did a pretty good job of keeping that double tough offense under wraps. However, the Predators lose, but they are not without their bright spots, and that's one of many things that we will talk with the Predators coach right now. A tough loss, to be sure. Pat O'Hara joins us just days after that loss to Spokane, 53-52. Coach, you had the 12-point lead in the fourth quarter, or when the fourth quarter began, I should clarify, and it just didn't work out in the long run for a number of reasons.
Well, we found a way to lose it, Sean, and that's something that, in the games we have won, the close ones, we found a way to win it. Tulsa, Milwaukee, we found a way to win it. This one, we found a way to lose it. It's a harsh lesson for our team that we have to overcome.
It doesn't make you feel any better, but that team came in averaging close to 69 a game. You held them to 53. You had a field goal try with regulation ending. You were in it until the finish. Yeah,
defensively, we played really well. Very, very pleased defensively. To hold that team in the low 50s was a victory in that sense. But, as you and I talked about, Sean, offensively, the consistency, we've got to maintain it. We can't we had, I think for a while there, we scored on 5 or 6 possessions. We're scoring. We make a mistake there in the end that, we can't do. We can't do that. And the learning curve continues, and we will continue to work on it, and another great challenge this week.
Coach O'Hara's talked a number of times about his team needing a quick start. Let's take you back to the first quarter of that game on Saturday night and show you perhaps where some of the things went wrong. We'll talk with Coach about some of these plays. Just 12 minutes to go in the quarter, and Spokane striking first. The fourth play of their opening drive, it is Kyle Rowley moving the ball with passes first, and then he would finish. His team would finish by going on the run, 6-0. Shock after the kick fails. The Predator offensive line struggling a little bit. Nick Hill would be sacked and dropped. He would be sacked twice in this game. Carlos Martinez would then miss a field goal try, still 6-0. Near the end of the first, the Shock's offense surging again. It's Rowley through the air to Raul Vigil from the 12. Orlando in a 13-0 hole after one. We talked about the Spokane offense a week ago in this setting, Coach, and the fact that Rowley is putting up so many touchdowns per game, and they're averaging close to 70 points per game. He seemed to find a lot of seams in your offense. Was he as tough? Was he the challenge you expected?
Well, I thought he had an up and down game, but the great thing that we did was we hit him. I mean, we rushed the passer well. We knocked him down a bunch, and that, forced him to throw 3 interceptions. Yep. And that turned out to be huge, We were able to turn some of those turnovers into points, and that was big. I thought offensively, up front, we actually played pretty well. The first sack was a blown protection, Ryan Schmidt's first game. From then on, he was solid until he got hurt. Yeah. But, it was solid. The other sack, Nick needs to throw the ball away. So I thought we blocked him up pretty well, and we need to be able to just pitch and catch and be more consistent.
At this point in the year, given some of the changes personnel-wise that you've gone through on the O-line, you happy with the way some of these guys are fitting together?
We've protected well. We really have. I think one of the strengths, even before we lost Patrick Afif to the CFL and lost Justin Cleveland, guys like Chris Jameson filled in last week against Tulsa, did a great job. And then this week, Chris Jameson and then Ryan Schmidt at center. Unfortunately, Ryan got hurt. But the offensive line has done a tremendous job, along with James Lynch at fullback and Brian Bishop. They've been solid. They've protected our quarterback well. And, our timing issues and what we're doing offensively, it needs consistency. And it's becoming a broken record. But we'll have to do a better job of doing that.
Got to get a quicker start. He's talked about that a number of times, too. Let's talk about the second quarter where things picked up a little bit and got a little more spicy for these Predators. Just inside the second quarter, a drive from the first ends. Hill gets it rocking, going 9 yards into the corner for Derek Lewis. The Preds in business, trailing only 13-7. Spokane would add a touchdown, but the Preds all fired up. About 7 minutes to go till the half, and James Lynch from the 1 It is 2014. The Shock now lead by only 6. Rowley, a lot to stop, as Coach mentioned earlier. Hits Vigil for a second time through the air. Predators down 13, 27-14. The ensuing kickoff return, Josh Bush, Coach, this guy becoming a source of electricity all on his own. 5 returns for Bush for 111 yards, and Hill would take advantage a little later looking for a receiver. Instead, he runs it in from the 11. The Shock now lead it only by 6. Predators catching up 27-21. With the half ending, a coach's delight. I know the coach loved this. We'll talk to him about it because Ray Kaiser really becoming a sensation in this league and in this defense. The Ball Hawk now leads the AFL with 9 interceptions. Martinez caps the half with a field goal. The Predators down only 3 at halftime, 27-24. So you have all this momentum going into the half. Some things really fell into order and really seemed to work out well for you in the second. Overall, that's a quarter that had to please you.
First quarter was, not good offensively. And second quarter, we were able to get that possession back that we lost in the opening drive with the turnover, and we turned it into 3 points. Down 3 going into the half with the ball coming out. It's right where you want to be, and we were able to capitalize on that right when we came out in the third quarter.
Let's talk about Sean Kaiser. He missed the first 2 games of the year, and since then he has just been, he's running like, as Bobby Bowden once said, he's running like a scalded dog. The guy is coming up with interceptions everywhere. He's had 9 interceptions in a Predator uniform. You really are able to hang your hat on him to some degree. It's just that interceptions, for whatever reason, aren't coming his way consistently, I suppose. Perhaps teams aren't throwing his side that much.
Oh, when you play the middle, it's thrown at you a lot.
Right.
And, Ray has done a tremendous job. He's done a tremendous job. And he's really worked out well with Kenny and Damon, and the 3 of them. It's all about familiarity in what you're doing, and they have a good idea of where each other's going to be on the field. And it took a little time to develop that. They have that now, and now that we have a little bit more pass rush and we're getting after the quarterback better, that certainly helps your DBs. And the thing about defensive players, too, in the secondary is not just being there to make the play on the ball, but actually catching it. And Ray really has good hands. He has a receiver-like hands, and him actually making the interception is tremendous.
Let me clarify what I meant to say earlier. I think he's maybe getting the interceptions that normally would have gone to one of the edges, right?
Yeah, well, they're attacking him in the middle, and when you play the middle, you have to have a short memory because you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat, and you have to come back next play. And Ray's personality really helps him and suits his position because you have to have that short memory and be very poised. Ray's one of the most poised guys I know. He doesn't get too high or too low, and so that's something that helps his game.